Thank you. I'm just playing with y'all. Welcome to the Point of View. It's your boy DDE80, aka Mike D, aka 13th Wonder of the World. Happy Friday to everybody. God is still good. I'm still blessed, even though I'm going through a lot of financial strain. I'm going through a lot of physical situations right now. God is still good, man. And for that, I still thank him, man. Hopefully, I got a prayer that I'm praying for something. I'm hoping that it be answered within the next couple of days. But other than that, God is good. Y'all don't worry about me, man. I'm just going through a lot of physical pain right now. I'm going through a situation with, of course, my knee and my foot. But other than that, man, I am good, man. I am great. God is still great. Situations that rose up against me, and I'm still living by God's grace and mercy, man. So for those of you that are worried about me, I'm fine. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the concerns. Thank you for even the prayers, even the ones that didn't pray, but just wanted to know how I was doing. I'm fine. I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I appreciate y'all all. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M. Breezy, my little homeboy, and also to my niece, Nadia, my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to The Point of View. The Point of View is going to be on different platforms. Podbean. I'm doing this on Podbean so that I could get it on YouTube so I can still talk to y'all even on Podbean, man. I'm just trying all the streaming platforms just to see, what is what, man. The whole Point Place family, man. Love all y'all, man. But everybody wants to know, where has the 13th wonder of the world been? Actually, man, I've been, like I said, been going through a couple of things, man, dealing with a surgery I had like 2 months ago. And I'm still trying to bounce back from the foot surgery as well. But yeah, God is good, man. It be some days I be wanting to come on, man. Sometimes I just can't come on, but I'm working to get back on for everybody so everybody can hear me again on a daily basis, man. And that's all I want everybody to know. And I'm going to say this once again. God is still good, man. I'm going through a lot of strains in life, but God is still good, man. I'm praying that I'm praying that a prayer of mine be answered before the weekend out. But God is still good, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in mind. God is still good, man. It might seem like the valley might take you out. It may seem like that the circumstances might get the best of you, but God is still good, man. And that's a side note. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about, and shout out to my little brother. My little brother Josh is also here. He's chilling, man, eating chicken and noodles. But he's here along with me as well. He's just going to chill out and hang out with his big brother today. You know what I'm saying? Get your water, Josh. But we just gonna, give y'all a little fun with this thing for a little bit, if you don't mind hanging out with your boy for a few minutes, if that's all right with y'all. I'm gonna go with the week of review in sports, man. And I want to talk about this because I want everybody to know why I'm talking about this. There was a lot of things that happened this week. Of course, the NBA as well as college basketball just started back. My Spartans are looking okay. They're looking like they might do something, but they let me down every time they get to the top 64 in the NCAA tournament and then lose in the first round, man, or lose in the Sweet 16 or the 32. And, I'm hopefully this year, fingers crossed, man, that they can get to the championship and win something, because I know in football we ain't going to go nowhere. like the Patriots ain't doing nothing. The Patriots got a big game this week against the Bears, so it's going to be Caleb Williams against Drake May. We'll see how that turns out for those two guys as they start their rookie, season against each other. This is going to be the first time they play against each other in the NFL. Then we talk about the whole week. Dak Prescott out for the rest of the season. Looks like he's going to be out for multiple games. I don't think it's out the whole season, but I think that if he can come back sometime in December, and if the Cowboys, have a chance, then they might can run the table a little bit. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. They got Philly this week. It's going to be interesting to see what Cooper Kupp does up against that Eagles defense, and it's going to be interesting to see what your boy Hurts and Barkley do up against that Dallas defense. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Eagles are going to win. They're playing like they got the stride to get back to the Super Bowl this year. Them and the Detroit Lions are the two best teams in the NFC right now. The Commanders are there because of Jalen Daniels. The Commanders are one of the best teams as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Philly plays against them. But also the Saints, they lost, but they traded Lattimore to the Chiefs. It'll be interesting to see, can the Saints pull off something this week as they play again. Derek Carr, of course, Dennis Allen was fired, and I knew that was coming. And I don't care what anybody says. Dallas, and this is my opinion, and then I'm going to go into the weaker review about the things that happened this week. Let me talk about something for a second, if you don't mind. Let me just speak a little something to you guys about. The big thing about this is what I'm saying about the Cowboys. Jerry Jones does not want to fire Mike McCartney. It's obviously they spent money on Dak Prescott. They spent money on CeeDee Lamb, and they let other people go. They let Tony Pollard walk out. They lost guys like Cooper and guys like that. Michael Parsons is out. He hasn't played, I don't think. And not Stephon Diggs, but the other Diggs, his brother, is up there cussing out reporters, man. Ezekiel Elliott stayed home, which is an indication that he's probably not going to be with Dallas next season. I don't know where he can go. I'm hoping that his football career is not over, but it looks like he's not going to be in a Dallas uniform next year. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it because they have a guy by Dobbs, and they got Devin, the other guy they got, Cook. They got him as well. So, I don't know, but I will say this. Next year is the 30th year of the Dallas Cowboys winning a Super Bowl. Could it be next year that Dallas wins the Super Bowl in 2026? Not 2026, but in 2026? Who knows? But right now they're playing like doo-doo. And that's just it. That's just me saying that. My Lakers are playing like doo-doo. My Spartans, both football, not my basketball team, but my football team playing like doo-doo. The Patriots are playing like doo-doo. We all are right now in the midst of doo-doo. The Milwaukee Bucks, can they turn their season around now? Philadelphia, now that, Maxey's out, Paul George is back, but Maxey's out. So, and I'm going to get into all that as I start this point of view weekend review. Let's start off by condolences. I want to give my condolences to Quincy Jones, one of the greatest music producers in the game. when you talk about music producers in the hip hop world, you have, of course, Pharrell, of course, Dr. Dre, Timbaland, um, uh, Mike Will on the beat, Manny Fresh, guys that make beats and producers. But Quincy Jones has been in the music game for a long time. Quincy Jones is the reason why Michael Jackson had the greatest selling artist, the greatest album of all time in Thriller. If it was not for Quincy Jones having his input on the record as well as with Bad, Off the Wall. Quincy Jones helped Will Smith get out of IRS debt by forming the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, helping Will Smith get out of IRS debt by helping Will Smith with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like I said. Quincy Jones helped launch Tevin Campbell's career. It's a lot of guys that has done music with Quincy Jones. Also a good guy with music. People had, Quincy in the mix, and Quincy Jones is, he was a pioneer, and he's gonna be greatly missed because he had his hands all over the music industry. And my condolences goes to his family, his kids, grandkids, and all his loved ones. But you're gonna miss a pioneer in Quincy Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Quincy Jones was also responsible for Michael Jackson having his first movie with The Wiz. So that's also a part of the deal with Quincy Jones. But Quincy Jones is was very, very valuable to the music and the Hollywood scene. So rest in peace, Quincy Jones. Died at 90 years old. He lived a long time. Also, swing to wrestling for a minute. The NXT ECW event was great. Great to see some of the greats, ECW alumni back in the mix, as well as the new TNA Hall of Famer Rhino was one. Dawn Marie Francine, of course, the legendary Rob Van Dam, the greatest tag team in ECW history in the Dudleys. They did a lot for the business. They did a lot for ECW. Will always have their flowers because they were a part of the wrestling era back in the 90s, as well as the early 2000s before they shut down in 2001, as well as WCW. But it was great to see the old ECW guys in there mixing it up with the NXT Rising Stars. And only thing I'm going to take away from that, all the matches were good, but the only thing I'm going to take away from that is it looks like it's going to be Ridge Holland probably going up against Trick for the NXT title. That's going to be interesting to see. Great match between Jada Parker and Lola Vice. That was interesting to see Lola Vice and Jada Parker have a hardcore match. Dawn Marie was the referee. Rhino's still going, but Rhino is still in shape because Rhino still wrestles for TNA. And that's probably why they got him on there, because of that as well, because they're affiliated with TNA as well as Jordan Grace. Interesting stuff happened on that show, but it was good. They were competing with AEW. Malachi Black versus Adam Cole, baby, was one of the greatest matches I've saw in AEW history, man. Those two left it out there. It was a great match between them. To see Darby and OC Orange Cassidy team up, that was great. That's good. It's always good to see those guys right there go up against each other as well in AEW. To go up against Moxley's group. I think they're the Death Squad or something. I forgot the name of their group. Bobby Lashley going to go up against Swerve Strickland. Interesting there. Camille is not cutting it for Mercedes Moné. It looks like her and Statlander is going to have a great match between Monet and Statlander. I think Statlander could be the first person to beat her. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these matches. Of course, Ricochet and Will Ospreay and Powerhouse Hobbs, they're going up against the Callis family. I want to see Brian Cage go up against Powerhouse Hobbs for the Ring of Honor television title. It's going to be interesting to see about that. Chris Jericho and his Ring of Honor run as well. Tag team title hunts looking good for AEW. So, they had a great show last week as well as NXT. Tonight we're going to see the fall off from Crown Jewel on Friday Night SmackDown. The question is, who's going to be the new number one contender for Cody's title? Cody's going to have a match at Survivor Series, or he's going to be a part of a Survivor Series match, War Games match. I don't know. I know there's going to be the Bloodline 1 against the Bloodline 2. So we'll see what happens with that as that unfolds. We're going to see how Nia Jax feels about losing not the Rhea Ripley, but to Liv Morgan at Crown Jewel. Where does Tiffany Stratton, get into that mix? It's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to take place that is going to happen tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Let's get into some more business. I'm just going through the week review. Man. So, Joel Embiid is suspended from the NBA for a couple of games for getting into it with a reporter. The reporter, from what I heard, he was wrong coming at Joel Embiid's family. I don't care how much you think you can do to a celebrity or a professional player. There are certain things that are off limits, and that goes for anybody that's even a 9-to-5 guy. Don't want nobody playing with their family. So what makes you think you as a B journalist can go up there and just say anything to these people and think there's no repercussions? Those guys don't mind a lawsuit at times. There's certain guys that don't care about being sued. They don't care about that. They don't care about it, and it makes you look stupid because you got the money, but what's a couple of millions to them when they're worth what? Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Does it hurt their pocket? Yeah, it hurts their pocket at times, but they feel like it's not worth it. But the dude should have never said anything to Embiid about his family. That's just the bottom line of it. It's crazy. Just like the beef going on between KD and Stephen A. Smith, they need to stop. Those two guys need to work it out. Or Kevin Durant's probably going to stay mad at him, or whatever going on between them. But I hope everything goes right and they can re-squash the beef. There's nothing wrong with criticism, but don't let it get to you, KD. You're one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Play your game, man. Try to get Phoenix to a playoff and try to get Phoenix to the NBA Finals, man. That's what you need to focus on. Don't focus on what nobody else is saying about you, man. But Joel Embiid's going to be out for a couple games. He's going to be suspended. He's already on the back-to-back situation where he's not going to be playing a lot of back-to-back games this year. Speaking of NBA, the beef between the Lakers and the Grizzlies, Ja Morant still ticked off that the Lakers put them out when they were the second seed a few years ago, and the Lakers were 7, and the Lakers beat them. And Ja Morant got eliminated from the playoffs. I do think that Memphis are going to be probably one of the top 5 teams in the Western Conference. I think the Lakers will probably still be at 6. Anthony Davis is out with an injury. Hopefully he won't be out too long. LeBron is still being LeBron, but on wasted nights like this cannot happen. And the bench is not providing what the Lakers need. How do you lose to the Detroit Pistons on a Monday night? Man, I was so drove when I seen that, man. I was mad. I text Fadeaway. Shout out to my boy Fadeaway, man. I text Fadeaway. I say, are you serious? Is this really what's happening? The Lakers are losing to the... And it was a blowout. But LeBron put up like 30 points in that game. He put up 39 against the Memphis Grizzlies and still lost. Tough. That's tough, man. That's tough to see. Tough to watch, man. And I think tonight they play against the 76ers. Paul George is going to be there because they already played the Clippers. And the Clippers beat the Sixers. And Tyrese Maxey is not playing. The Lakers got to win this game tonight against Philly, man. I don't care. LeBron can go for 20. It's got to be other people that's got to. The bench is the problem. And D-Lo. D-Lo's not playing like he's supposed to be playing. One game he plays great. The next game he plays like doo-doo. And I don't understand that because the Lakers gave him $17 million to stay. He's a great trade piece if they want to get rid of him. And I'll tell you this, believe this or not, there ain't nowhere in the world that if All-Star break comes around this season, that the Lakers don't make no moves. The Lakers are going to make a move because they're not going to keep standing pat with this team, man. It's not going to happen. AR-15 is not going anywhere. Rui is not going to go nowhere. D'Lo's going to go somewhere. You got to get a solid guy in there, a solid guard to help out with the Lakers. Because guard play is what's killing them as well, too. Because Gabe Vincent, he was injured last year, but Gabe Vincent is not giving the Lakers what they need, not right now. I don't know who you could get out there that's solid enough to come there and want to play for the Lakers. I know that they were looking at getting Zach LaVine, but I don't think the Bulls are going to trade him right now. I think Garland is still the piece. If you want to go after a solid, point guard, Garland's the guy. Sexton could be the guy that can help the Lakers. And I know he's tired of that, what's going on in Utah because of what's going on with Utah. Utah's a rebuilding team. Utah's not going to go anywhere. And then marketing is out too. So it's gonna be, and I'm saying this because I know the Lakers are going to make a move. But we'll see what they do tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. Clippers beat them. Hopefully we can beat them too. Also elsewhere in NBA news, Cleveland Cavaliers are undefeated. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're still undefeated. They won. The Milwaukee Bucks finally won a game against a team like Utah. They needed that win to beat the Jazz. Now we'll see what happens now with a couple of wins. With a couple of wins, they could be right back in the mix. The Boston Celtics lost to the Warriors. Very shocking. Golden State right now is playing absolutely phenomenal. Who thought that they were going to be on the end of the totem pole? Right now they're playing like lights out right now. They're playing like they are that 2022 team that went to the NBA Finals and won the championship. And they're doing it without Steph Curry. Those young boys out there doing what they need to do. Buddy Hield's playing like he's playing for a $15, $20 million contract right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But they beat the Celtics, and it's still Jason Tatum still hurt about what Steve Kerr did to him in the Olympics. But right now it's Kerr 1, Tatum 0. Well, let's find out. Let's see what happens when the Celtics go to Golden State and play them. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out for them as well. Also, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot of stuff going on in the world. We know that Donald Trump is once again the president of the United States. And all I'm going to say is this. Whatever he does, let him be about the right business about it. Because here's the thing, man, and I'm going to say this. As bad as they wanted that woman, Kamala, in office, it was something that the people did not like about her to vote for her. And that's why Donald Trump is in office. And I'm going to leave it at that. We'll see what happens. This is second go around as president of the United States. So we'll see what happens in this second go around as Donald Trump becomes the president of the United States again. Also, back in wrestling, let me talk about this. Congratulations to Moose for becoming the TNA X Division champion. You know, and I'm saying this for a reason, not because he's a brother, not just because he's a brother, but I never thought that Moose would win any other titles besides the world title in TNA. He's now got a mid-card title in TNA, and that just adds more stability to his character and more accomplishments to his career. So that's good for him to be the X Division champion. Hopefully he have a nice little run with it. I hope they don't put it on him and then just take the belt off him 28 days later like WWE did Jey Uso. It's going to be interesting. But congratulations to him. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk about something pertaining to me. You know, emotions, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes situations, sometimes they will break you down. And I'm going to leave on this note because I just want everybody to know what I'm talking about here. I am still that same DDE 80 that's full of joy, don't mind getting on here talking sports. But I also have a life too. And my life is in God's hands, man. Your life is in God's hands, bro. The mountains right now are coming for me. And I'm not talking about passing or, you know, when a lot of people talk about this, they think a person is on, you know, got a substance issue or something like that. That's not the case here. You know, and I'm not gonna belittle those that deal with those things because I want you all to recover from, you know, any type of addiction that you got in your life that's not helping you. If it's harming you, then, you know, we just want you, you know, to just talk to God and God help you deal with it. But I'm talking about me and the things that are going on in my life right now that are kind of, it's all a test. You know, God won't put too much on you that you can't bear. And that's just the way it is. It makes you talk to him more, and it makes you realize the blessings that he has for you. It makes you understand why reading the word is very, very important. The Bible is the most important book of all time. And I know that bestsellers and all that, they're great authors. And, I listen to a lot of audio books, excuse me. And yeah, that's a great best-selling author and things like that. Don't get me wrong. People put out great ebooks and great audiobooks. But my thing is this though, nothing could top that Bible, man. And I'm seeing that now. And there's a lot of things that God got to help me with. There's a lot of things that God got to help me deal with and things like that. You deal with a lot of stuff in life. Things that happen to you in your past and, you forget about them, and sometimes they come back and they try to take you out. That don't mean that you're not that good person. That don't mean that you're not a better person. It's just a lot of things at times can pile up on you. Sometimes when it rains, it does pour. And it pours a lot. But if you can make it through that rain, everything will be all right with you. I'm DDE80. God bless you. God keep you. Oh, one more thing. You guys, tomorrow's LSU versus Alabama. I'm hoping that LSU can beat Alabama and go ahead in the rivalry. But until then, God bless you. God keep you. I'm out.